Two. Welcome, everybody. It's Conversations with Cobi. And I know we're just getting started, but listen, I know everybody talks about what's happening in football and the beginning of basketball season, but I want to bring you something special to me, and we're going to talk about some volleyball. And we got the MEAC volleyball champions of 2023. And I have Coach Walsh and TaKenya Stafford to talk about some great things and some interesting things about them and the Coppin State program. So as we get ready to get started, I want to start off with Coach. And Coach has done some great things, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. Where I'm going to get started is this year has been a lot of milestones for you, Coach. You got 100 wins, and you set the school record for season wins in volleyball. Talk to me about how that feels and what it means to you.
So it's an exciting time for us at Coppin and for us as a volleyball program. It's not so much as me and numbers. It's about the program and putting these student athletes through it, watching them grow and develop. We've had tons of freshmen that come in, that build, and they get better and better and better, and they see success on and off the court. Numbers add to it, and it's exciting to win and to do well. But at the end of the day, it's super great to watch those players become adults and go into the real world, go on to coaching, go get a master's degree, start a job, and make great money, and then still have those conversations and get those text messages from them with how they're doing and how successful they are, and they see the growth of the program from day one to now. So it's nice to hear from them and hear their support for our future and where the program's growing.
And it's interesting you mentioned program growing. When you started at the program, it really wasn't that successful, right? So talk to me about like how it feels and what it took to get you from rebuilding or restarting not restarting, but rebuilding and putting a program together to where you are now, where you're able to have some success and consistent success.
Yes, it's definitely it's aged me for sure. Now I got gray hair, but it's been fun. It's been a ride. It's been, the good, the bad, the ugly, but I've helped a lot of student athletes, and I've seen a lot of success, year to year with recruits, bigger and better each and every year. And our record, has improved too. And so that's exciting for me, knowing that I'm doing something positive in my career. And, I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the future of Coppin volleyball and where it's going to go. I think here is a stepping stone of where we can go. I think that we're just going to only get bigger, stronger, and better as the years come. So it's something that I'm looking forward to. And I know that the players on the team feel the same way. And then even the recruits coming in, what's your goal? What do you want to do? And, you just want to get better and better every year. And so, we've continued to do that. When I took over the program, it was not good. My first year we had 4 wins. They were winless, I think, maybe had 2 wins for 2 years before me. And so it was a lot. But it was the struggle was worth it. The hard work and dedication just proves that things can happen when you put your mind to it. And I tell my athletes that all the time, come in and work hard, and you never know what you're going to get. So that's all I ask for them, that they, put in that effort day in and day out to see success.
Wow. And so success, right? Like, Coach, this is what, your 3rd winning season in a row, 3rd consecutive winning season. Now talk about, like, explain to me or talk to me what it was like. Like, this is your 3rd MEAC championship game, 3rd MEAC championship game in 4 years, and 2 times of them where you were the bridesmaid. What is it like, and what did you have to do different to get over the hump?
I think it became a mindset. There's continuity on the court that maybe was missing before, that we had this year. There was different firepower. There was different emotions. There was a bunch of factors, that played into it. I don't think Howard was any less of an opponent than the other 2 opponents. I actually think they probably were even stronger than the teams that we faced before. But I think just having the adversity with this group and everything we've been through from the beginning of the season with all the injuries, you know, and the team sickness and all that kind of stuff has just helped us grow and have thicker skin and kind of just not let things bother us so much, but more focused and more into it, supporting one another on the court, off the court. You know, that stuff is huge. And so, you know, we have to be able to trust each other and build that camaraderie so that when we get into a situation on the court, you know, we can look at one another and say, hey, this is the game plan. Let's execute. You know, I trust you're going to do this and you trust me that I'm going to do this. Let's make it happen. And I think maybe we're missing that in the past. So my coaching style hasn't changed. You know, my philosophies haven't changed. But I think we had some different players on the court this year that made a huge difference.
So I want to get a response from both of y'all on this question because you mentioned the key word adversity. And I was at the game when you played Howard. And those first 2 sets, you know, you were down at certain points. And for me, not being a volleyball expert, I would say kind of big. And you dug yourselves out of the hole. I want to start with TaKenya to answer this a little bit. But what was it like? And then what was the difference in y'all turning it around?
It honestly didn't feel like we were in a hole throughout the game. I mean, obviously until the second set when it was 23-16. But in the first set, I think we were also locked in that we knew that no matter what the score was, that we can get a side out, we can execute, and eventually win the game. So on the court, it never felt like we were down or, you know, had to dig ourselves out of a hole. Going into the second set, yeah, the score was 23-16. But as you can tell, we were able to play clean volleyball and execute every point, and everyone was locked in and focused. So I think, like he said, like, because we have those type of players on the court, we're able to execute and, you know, finish. So.
Okay. And what was going on from behind the sidelines, Coach? What was going on?
You know, it just when it was 16-23, and then we got 17, there was just something that changed dynamically for even the bench. I know 2 of the coaches moved their seat. One went to go stand with the crowd. So things changed there. And then it kind of we got another point. It was 18. And then maybe they took a timeout, or we got one more and they took a timeout. And then that gave this team like this fire and this spark. And you saw it from the bench, you saw it on the court. You know, they literally looked at each other, and that's exactly what, like, we've been discussing, you know, just trusting each other that, like, you can get it done 1 point at a time. Let's not look too far ahead. You know, what's the next play? What are they going to run? You know, where are they in rotation? We know that. Okay, now what can we do to stop that? And then what are we going to do? You know, we're going to get a transition ball. Who are we going to run? Where are we going to run it? Why are we running this? So, you know, that timeout was just kind of like a, hey, reassurance, like, you know, let's do it. And, you know, they did it. And I was, you know, I wasn't shocked, but I was so proud. Like, I can't explain how proud I was that they came back from 16-23 against a team that on paper is, you know, maybe statistically better, definitely size wise, you know, better, but, you know, our girls pulled it out because they knew what they had to do. They were locked in 100%.
Awesome. And you could feel the change in the room, in the gym. You could definitely feel the energy swing when that happened, and it was surprising to me because they did look larger up front,
Mm-hmm.
and but like I said, like earlier, the determination, the intensity changed on that side of the ball, and to sit there and I know people aren't talking about it, y'all had this dominating performance in the MEAC tournament. Like, y'all didn't drop a set. You know, like, that says a lot. And it talks about the team and all those things that you finally put together to bring those things together. Now, before I get to Kenya, this is a little on a lighter note. Talk to me about those shoes, Coach.
So I don't know. At championship games, I've just been trying to just, you know, have fun with it, not take it too serious. So I'm just trying to wear something that kind of like shows a little bit of flavor, a little bit of swag, whatever you want to call it. I call it style, but the girls might not. But we, you know, we have a good time. So they're always like, "What are you gonna wear? What are you gonna wear?" You know, and I always try to do something a little bit off kilter. So, you know, I said, "Hey, let me look classy." You know, nice jacket, nice pants, nice button down, and then I'll throw on my color for my team. So, they were yellow. I was like, I'll match them. And so
Awesome.
that was.
Now, the only thing that looked better than those shoes, Coach, was the Coppin fan with the Diana Ross and the Supremes jacket. With all the sequins on it. It looked like.
we had a couple fans with some great outfits throughout the tournament. So that's always fun, watching our fans with their faces painted or decking out the yellow suits and the hair pieces and the colors all matching us. And so we're just appreciative of all that support. And it kind of puts a light spirit in the air, which we need. We don't want to be so serious at game time where we make a mistake and then we falter and just keep faltering. So being able to watch our fans and let them walk in, and it's fun. It's a good part of the game.
Yeah, awesome. Now I'm gonna talk to you a little bit more, TaKenya. Talk to me like you made a switch. This is your first year at Coppin, right? And you are also in tournament MVP. But what I want to know about is your transition, how these awards and those things validated your transition.
Well, I think coming out of high school, my recruiting experience really wasn't the greatest, and that's due to COVID. Because COVID had hit around junior year, and that's kind of like a really pivotal year when it comes to like recruiting. So going into senior year, not even having a high school season, barely having a club season, Eastern Illinois just happened to be just the school I had to pick. It wasn't the only school, but it was just like, okay, let's go here. And I didn't even have a visit as well. So, like my first time meeting the coach and all that was after I had already committed. But I just felt like it just wasn't, the right fit for me. It wasn't, like home. I didn't feel like I didn't feel accepted, and I just felt like I can go somewhere else and, be accepted, be at my full potential. And so obviously this season proved to be, the reason why I transferred. Everything that I have dreamt for my career came into fruition. And so I'm not done yet, but it's a stepping stone to like, what I hope to achieve in the future. So I'm just happy to be at Coppin, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this team and just the program.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about, like you mentioned, both of you kind of mentioned about the I'm having this brain fart, but about your stick-to-itiveness, right? Your resilience. That's the word I'm looking for. What are the things y'all do in practice and those things that happen to help build that resilience and prepare y'all for situations like this?
I think it's certain drills that we do, like fast-paced drills that we do. We do a game called Alabama, and so it's kind of like you have to win 4 points in a row to win the game. And so, I mean, in an actual college game, it's more difficult to win 4 points back to back. So it's constantly, pushing us, to execute. So I also think not just like with the drills, but Coach Walsh always emphasized hard work, and just it starts in practice. So if you don't work hard in practice, it's not going to translate into the games. So throughout the season, we always talked about the MEAC championship. We always talked about working up to that point, because we knew that coming off from last season, yeah, we were at the top of the conference, but we didn't win that championship, and people were still gunning for us. So, that kind of all went into practices and just how resilient our team was in the championship.
Awesome. So I'm gonna come back to volleyball for a second completely, but being a Cali girl, right, and now you're on the East Coast, what is the big differences, and especially because there's no HBCUs past Texas? How has it been being in that culture, then having to play volleyball and all those things wrapped around that? Because that's a big transition also.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the biggest difference is weather. I'm used to just the very new 70s. Like I'm used to that. So I knew it was gonna be cold anyway. So that wasn't really a big factor. But I think coming into HBCU, I think like it's great. You get to be around people who look like you. I think it really hasn't changed much in like, volleyball aspect. Like integrating the two. I think it has been a smooth transition. I've had a smooth transition to the school, to the team. So I haven't really had any problems. So all great.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Now that's dope because when you think of HBCU sports, you don't think of volleyball,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And as you see teams growing, I mean, like Howard and Coppin, as you can see, like those things are developing, especially on the East Coast, and it's a beautiful thing to see grow. Even Delaware State has had some little success. So to see all those things wrap up and the conference get tougher in volleyball says a lot about what these coaches are putting together and how these teams are growing. But you have something going on Saturday. Y'all get to play Pitt. And I know this is your first time to the big dance, Coach. How do you feel about your first time?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for the opportunity. So I can't wait. I'm excited. Obviously, we're scouting constantly. And so we're trying to put together this plan. And I kind of talked to the girls a little bit today, like, hey, we're going to do this. You're going to stay on this person. Let's practice this. So we did a bunch of stuff the last couple of days in practice with people in different positions that might be new for us. And so obviously it'll be new for Pitt when they scout us. So, just trying to throw in whatever wrench we can, kind of to give us a little bit of an advantage because they're going to be at home. They're number 3 in the nation. Obviously, they're bigger than us. They play in a tougher division. They have a harder schedule. We know all that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to be the team that can execute and can have the best mental game that's going to win. So I'm excited. I know the team's excited. There's no pressure on us, right? So in the MEAC, there was pressure. We had a target on our back from day one. Every coach was gunning for us saying, oh, I hope you beat them. Good luck, good luck, good luck, and you can't worry about it. You got to play your game. And so, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to go in there. We don't have a target on our back. We're just going to play our game. We're going to have fun. We're going to execute. We're going to follow the game plan, and hope and pray for the best.
Awesome. You said recruiting, right? So I was wondering because, you're going to play Pitt in Pittsburgh, but there's something different and a different aspect that most players won't have to play against. And TaKenya has her little sister who's first team all conference. Does she give you advantage? Does TaKenya tell you little things about her sister? TaKenya, tell me, how do you react and how do you feel about this opportunity at the big dance?
It's bittersweet. That's what I just tell everybody because everybody's like, "How do you feel?" My teammates, everybody is asking me, and I'm just like, it's bittersweet. It's something we've talked about since we were younger, playing at a young age, at being at the highest level in the NCAA tournament. It just happens to be that our first times will be against each other. So, I've always cheered her on. I've always looked forward to her success. And I mean, throughout this season, I've just been so proud to watch. And the same thing with her. It's funny because she literally was at our MEAC championship game and celebrated with us. So it's like I said, it's unfortunate, but like it's very exciting too because we're very close, but we're also very good competitors. So when that whistle blows, that's just another player on the other side of the court.
I got you. Because I beat my mama if she stepped on the line with me and it was a wrestling match. I want to win. So like now, as the season is starting to wrap up and we're going to end this, shortly. But you come from a long line of athletes, and if you want to throw out the names of some of those, you're welcome to. But how is the pressure or lack of pressure helped you become a better athlete? And what are those experiences or what have you learned from those other family members? The ones that play in the WNBA. But I mean, go ahead and continue. And I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know their names, so I'm not even gonna mention their names. But there's no pressure. I've never really felt pressure. I think if nothing else, I felt like grateful. Because like I said earlier in the interview, I think it just solidifies the athletic capabilities that I have, that Tori has, and that the gene for it. But I mean, I'm just very excited. Um, just to showcase those talents, to see all my family members talking about it. I know my auntie, the one who played in the WNBA, who also played in the WNBA, are like just stoked about the game and they're just excited and they're like, this is crazy and all that. So, like I said, no pressure, but I just think it just adds to the line. I feel like I add to the line. I feel like I add to the line, really.
Awesome. And as you should. And as you should. And do you reach out like for any advice or anything when you're
Well,
growing or training or anything?
Since they play basketball, we don't play the same sport. Tori and I are the only ones who decided to go the volleyball route. So, and obviously recruiting was different, especially even my older sister who's like 29. They didn't even have the portal when she was in college. So, like, our recruiting process is definitely different. So, I haven't really been able to like ask questions about recruiting and stuff. But my older sister's also playing overseas, so I could talk more about that and ask her because that's kind of what I want to do after college. So
Awesome. So now you caught me with something new, and I'm gonna stop. There's an overseas professional volleyball.
yes,
I'm gonna have to check that out. That's new to me.
yes,
That's definitely new to me. Well, what I want to say is, I am rooting for you. I wish you both much success. I'll be trying to clock in that game on Friday to check in to see where the scores are. I hope is that everything goes the way you want. Last thing, is there anything else you want to say to the fans or to the public?
thank y'all for your support. Really means a lot. I've seen you guys, throughout social media, posting things here and there. So it means everything, to have that HBCU support.
Awesome. Coach?
Yeah, just to echo that, supports everything, and teams play harder when they have the fan base. And so, come out, support your HBCU, no matter who they are. We're representing a bunch of schools, not just Coppin State. So we're super pumped. We'll do the best we can.
Awesome. I would like to say, like I said earlier, I wish you much luck. And to everybody, have a great day. Check them out, support, tweet, anything to give them what they need. Friday, December 1st against Pitt in Pittsburgh. Take it easy, everybody.
Thank you.